This commenter says, "Hey Eddie, what is a sanction? I see this come up a lot and don't really understand what it is." This is a great question. The US has imposed stringent economic sanctions on Iran, Venezuela, Syria, the DPRK, Cuba, pretty much all of their geopolitical enemies. And sanctions are a form of economic warfare. They make up part of what Vijay Prashad calls the hybrid war, which basically means attacking a country and trying to topple their government without actually doing a ground invasion, without sending troops. And what sanctions do specifically is stop countries from importing or exporting certain commodities, basically strangling them from trading with the rest of the world and preventing them from making money exporting commodities they produce. So usually US sanctions will target a country's most valuable exports. When Hugo Chavez in Venezuela took the money that they were making by exporting oil and reinvested it in social programs like the literacy campaign that taught 1.5 million Venezuelans to read, the US responded by sanctioning Venezuela's oil exports and PDVSA, the Venezuelan oil company. So the US sanctions Venezuela's most valuable export, and then when Venezuela experiences economic crisis, the US points and goes, "Look what socialism did." But can't countries just ignore the sanctions? How are they even enforced? Well, in the case of Venezuela, the US maintains a massive military presence in Colombia as well as the Caribbean Sea. So when Iran tries to send oil to Venezuela, the US military just seizes it. In this case, they literally took the oil back to Houston. It's not stealing though, trust us. It's sanctions for human rights. The sanctions are also enforced by Western-dominated global financial institutions. Specifically institutions like the IMF and World Bank, which have been created since World War II to give Western capitalists control of global finance. They're also enforced through the US's military and trade agreements that they have with their allies around the world, which you can read about in Vijay Prashad's Washington Bullets, or Michael Hudson's Super Imperialism, the origin and fundamentals of US world dominance. Capitalist imperialism in the modern era is financial economic imperialism. And understanding that is becoming increasingly important, so thank you for asking this question.